Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another best of 3 series from the Valencia 2022 Dreamhack tournament, as we have a nice international engagement in between these two pro players. Once again, let me just start by introducing the players to you guys, as we are spawning here in the upper right in the red ELAZER from Poland, and his opponent here in the lower left in the blue, it is BYUN from South Korea. Very known Terran player, of course. Same can be said here for ELAZER, quite a name in the European scene. So really a strong opponent here for BYUN. Let's just see exactly what they will prepare for us, as they are spawning here on inside and out. It is a best of 3, like I told you. Games have been played in July 2022, so very recent replays. And yeah, by the looks of it, ELAZER goes straight for his fast expansion here, so no spawning pool, no extractor rush for him. And BYUN also playing really standard, opening up here with his supply depot in the front, with his barracks and his gas. No proxy barracks strategy here for BYUN, as many Terrans have shown us. Perhaps in the later games BYUN is also going to transition, or he might want to transition into some cheese, into some shenanigans against the Zerg, as it could be a possibility. In the meantime, ELAZER also nicely scouting the map with his first overlord. The second overlord, interesting enough, not deciding to scout the proximity here, just stands into this location. And yeah, pretty standard stuff by ELAZER. Extractor into spawning pool. Let's check BYUN once again. The refinery is already pumping out gas. Still no units, as finally the first marine is being built. And the first expansion is also being built here for BYUN. So yeah, BYUN also not sending out a scouting SCV yet. Let's see what his plans are. Going into a factory, so this might be a 1-1 build order like we've seen previous game. One barracks into one factory and one starport. Second gas is actually going out. You can of course see production tab here in the upper left in case I'm missing something. Let's check ELAZER really quick. It's just transferring some drones. I believe the first scouting drone is out. There are the first queens being made, and speed is also being started for the Zerglings. Let's check. ELAZER might go for his second expansion at around the 2-minute and 30-second mark. Really nice gameplay here by him. Also nice lesson if you're a Zerg for your build order. Let's check once again. BYUN, he's adding a reactor and he's adding a starport. So indeed it is one barracks, one factory into one starport. Of course those medivacs are really much needed in case the Terran wishes to do some drops against his opponent. Now finally the first Zergling comes out. ELAZER also nicely hitting his overlord, so he doesn't wish to scout the main or the expansion point from the Terran. He's just sending out one. Zergling sees the expansion, of course, so he knows that no early rush is of course going to come against him. Check his main, no tier 2 upgrade, still just at spawning pool, still droning up, still adding more and more queens, and yeah, creating a highway, a creep highway towards his second expansion. Of course BYUN could punish this with some massive amounts of Hellions. I think this could be a very nice target against ELAZER, and let's just see exactly if he is indeed going for that. Currently he's just pumping out more and more marines, as in come 5 marines, and he's also creating a wall in just to protect his expansion point. So yeah, let's see, is there a medivac out to see this overlord really soon? Might be added. Yes indeed, there it is, and this overlord is going to get snapped. So ELAZER pretty much knows now the timing, that closing at the 5-minute mark. This could be the first harassment attempt by the Terran against him, as yeah, more and more creep is getting spreaded. And yeah, worker wise, ELAZER having 10 more workers than the Terran. Let's see what BYUN can do with this medivac, as the spread out of those overlords are really nice over ELAZER. He sees of course every movement from the Terran, losing second overlord, but his defenses should be up. And yeah, no spores, interesting enough here for him. Spores here as well. And yeah, let's see, where is that medivac going? And what exactly is BYUN going for? That is he going to add some more barracks? Currently he's just pumping out more and more Hellions, so the target could be indeed this expansion point with massive amounts of Hellions. And yeah, BYUN of course trying to find a good position for his medivac to attack, to drop. He might try a double attack, maybe those Hellions will attack the 1 o'clock position while the medivac is attacking somewhere else, or just might to try to regroup and attack straight into the front. Let's have a look what exactly his options are. Currently I believe he's going to scan this location just to kill those creep eggs out of those queen. And yes, indeed, that's exactly what he's doing, but ELAZER looking really nice here with his queens in the front. The hellbats have been spawned, and the hellbats really strong with that splash damage. Of course they're going to kill so many zerglings, but in the end the queens hold as 3 hellbats have been killed and more could actually follow. Remember, hellbats can also be healed by the medivac, so really nice defense for ELAZER early on against BYUN, as BYUN is not really able to punch here through with his hellbats. Perhaps a better idea would have been with that medivac to drop those hellions into this location, but then again I'm sure BYUN knows exactly what he's doing, as he's adding now 2 banshees. And remember, 2 banshees can one-shot a drone. Is there a spore? There is a spore indeed here, as there is that cloak, but it should be visible with this one spore. Let's check. The main also has a spore, as now BYUN tries of course to attack the expansion point, but ELAZER is nicely defending with his queens. There is vision, or there should be vision really soon with this one spore, as even one queen might get at, but in the end BYUN not really making anything happen with those banshees. So ELAZER pretty much prepared for everything the Terran is throwing towards him, also going here for his tier 2 as he went into that layer. Even though, look at that nice defense here by ELAZER, sniping this one banshee and the second one also getting sniped. So BYUN with not such a good early start, he's losing units after units while ELAZER just keeps expanding and defending. So really great early game for the Polish player. Let's see, BYUN looks like he's going to regroup. He's adding some tanks. There are some nice hidden position for those tanks into these locations, and yet let's see what exactly is going to happen here, as BYUN might try to attack. Let's check his main. He has 3 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, as he's pumping out more and more units towards the enemy. And yeah, let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. There's that scan, more and more creep eggs are getting spawned. We do have now Baneling, so Baneling's really strong against that infantry, as ELAZER tries perhaps to come in from the back. Really smart move by him. He just tries to surround, or perhaps tries to catch those reinforcements. Even a better decision here for the Polish players. BYUN pretty much is stuck now. He can't really send out any more reinforcements, as he's now moving forward with this task force. But those Zerglings are pretty much in position, and they might even try to take out this tank. It would be really huge, but the infantry is there, and there's another group of infantry here towards the expansion point. So BYUN finally finding some kills here, finding this hatchery. Really huge takeout for him, nicely done against ELAZER. And yeah, let's have a look at the answer from ELAZER. Currently pretty much under siege. This tank already with 14 kills. More and more tanks are being added, but ELAZER also adding this expansion into this location and into this location, so it's going to be really hard for the Terran to take out all of those expansion and massive amounts of medivacs. Now we might see a huge drop perhaps into the main from the Zerg, perhaps into this location where the Baneling's nest is. Look where exactly BYUN is going for, as more and more troops are being added. So let's have a look where he decides to attack. It looks like he's going straight for the 12 o'clock, spreading his units in the back, and the ELAZER pretty much on the defense now. Such a hard position for him with those queens, with those Banelings in the back. The queens are nicely healing themselves up, but the tanks are dealing so much splash damage from the back, so in the end some queens will fall. The infantry is also here with Stim, getting nicely healed up, so ELAZER once again under siege. His base, his expansion is taking damage. BYUN nicely spreading those units in the back, hiding them here behind the rocks. And yet ELAZER also nicely microing those queens, healing themselves up really nice. And at the same time we have a huge move out here by ELAZER with some Baneling, so he might try to bust here through. BYUN looking like he's ready, but hold on, we have so many Banelings, and yeah, the defenses have pretty much been obliterated, and those Banelings really dealing so much damage against BYUN. BYUN all of a sudden has to retreat. Such a nice move here by ELAZER, pretty much crippling now the expansion point from BYUN. BYUN has to micro those SCVs back from danger. But yeah, little does he know, it's 27 SCVs have already been killed. So ELAZER really doing some great stuff here with a group of Banelings and those Zerglings. In the end, of course, the units will fall for him, but the damage has already been done. 27 SCVs killed, 60 workers for ELAZER versus the 23 BYUN, being forced to come back as we have passed the 10-minute mark. So such a smart move by the player from Poland. Really nicely done. Him busting here through the wall with those Banelings and adding those Zerglings. And yeah, look at that, he's even adding more and more units out. Might once again try to go for a rounding maneuver. BYUN having, of course, more army than ELAZER. ELAZER having the better economy, and once again in come those Zerglings as more and more supply depots might fall, even more and more SCVs. BYUN is responding, he's taking out the hatchery, or he should take out that hatchery, but no, hold on, it's actually getting killed. In the meantime, once again, 7 SCVs have been killed, so BYUN now spreading his units. They need to get some connections, but in the end, ELAZER holds and some units have fallen. BYUN finding now a good position here against this expansion, which is not defended. Only taking out 3 drones, but at the same time, BYUN losing some production buildings. He has a tank here in the high ground, already 32 kills for him. At the same time, BYUN sniping some workers, but ELAZER should be able to hold. Once again, we have a regroup in the middle of the map. And yeah, let's just check the production buildings. Only 3 barracks being left for the Terran, actually 4th one here. But yeah, really a hard game for BYUN as ELAZER is playing really nicely. And yeah, look at that, only 16 workers remaining for BYUN. He has more army, but it's going to be really hard for him to attack here with such a small economy. ELAZER still leaving some Zerglings here to defend, and the Zerglings here as well. Still Queens and Banelings and Zerglings are roaming around here. So yeah, BYUN having the better position, he has the high ground, he's steaming up. In the end, the reinforcements are really strong for ELAZER as his economy is, of course, allowing him to send out more and more Zerglings towards his enemy. And we might see a run by front back by ELAZER as he's hitting those tanks. He's pretty much off guard. In the end, one tank already having 50 kills here, so really nicely done by BYUN this time, but his infantry is taking more and more damage as he really has to heal up, and those medivacs are dropping really low into energy. So BYUN really has to make something happen. Nice snipe here out of this hatchery as he's moving now forward into the main, and we had a pause here. Have a look if this somehow is going to work out for BYUN. He's about to lose that medivac, or is ELAZER not paying attention, actually finally taking out the medivac. Now the Marines are nicely kiting forward. They might try to snipe some workers. So much action going on left and right. ELAZER on the defense once again. His Zerglings should be able to clear this off. And at the same time, BYUN also attacking here into this location, snapping some queens, but in the end, the ELAZER having this expansion in the high upper left part. And here, worker-wise, we still only have 16 workers for BYUN, so BYUN pretty much pushing everything here towards his infantry and towards his tanks. The Zerglings from ELAZER are nicely taking out the reinforcements once again. So yeah, BYUN we pretty much has to rely now onto those hero siege tanks in the back. Still could be, slowly but steadily he could recover. It's going to be really hard for him. Look if he's somehow going to make it, as early for him he's losing some of his tanks once again, and he has to find a better position. Perhaps he's going into this location if he has scanned it. And we do see a small drop here by BYUN, so BYUN all over the place with some small groups of Marines. Let's see how this is going to work out for him. And ELAZER still on the defense, but at the same time multitasking all over the map with his Zerglings, with his Banelings. So still Link Bane with Queens as he's roaming around the map here. And perhaps he's going to regroup. The same can be said for BYUN. Slowly but steadily he's recovering from his loss from those SCVs. Loss is currently at 25, 47 only for ELAZER. Also not that high ground, that high number from workers for ELAZER. Yeah, let's see how things will unfold, what exactly is going to happen here, as BYUN is the one moving forward, but siege tank sadly for him hasn't been sieged up. Some infantry is going to be lost here as well. The Bane is trying to get some connection as the medivacs have to retreat now. Really good micro here by BYUN, finding this one choke point, being able to snipe some of those Zerglings. ELAZER still tries to regroup. and he tries to find the connection here. He might snap some of those tanks. It's knowing also for that infantry beyond pretty much surrounded, so many Zerglings. Yeah, ELAZER actually taking game number 1, of course. Beyond dropping to 55 supply versus that good economy from ELAZER. So yeah, nicely done by the Polish player. 1-0 for him. Quit game number 2, this time on data C, also from the ASL map pool. We have once again from Poland in the low left, in the red it is ELAZER, and his opponent in the upper right in the blue it is BYUN from South Korea. Currently ELAZER leading the series 1-0, so this score is of course not correct. Let's have a look exactly what is going to happen, how things are going to be changing, what BYUN is going to try to do here, as he's opening up here with a supply depot. And I don't see a barracks, but I do actually see 2 SCVs moving out really early. Very likely going to go for a proxy barracks rush against ELAZER. And ELAZER once again on the move out, but he's not really scouting the map. Have a look, a nice spot being found by BYUN here in the 6 o'clock position, as ELAZER plays a pretty standard, of course, fast expansion for him, as a double Rex is being spawned by BYUN. So let's see what exactly he's going for. Mass Marines, it could be also Mass Reapers. Is he going to add some bunkers, as the Overlord is actually closing it really closely? But this is what I find really interesting by ELAZER. He's not continuing to scout the map, just staying into this location, and currently of course not knowing what exactly is going to happen towards him, so pretty much holds his ground, not moves forward. Of course, if he would have moved a little bit more forward, he could have pulled more drones, but in the end perhaps he knows exactly what he's doing. He might know the timings, and he might see some SCVs here into this location. Let's have a look. He's continuing with a spawning pool. Extractor is already up. His expansion is should also be really up really soon, as now the Overlord finally sees the first SCV and the second SCV. So now he should know, of course, it is indeed a rush, and he sees the bunker as well. So his reaction, let's have a look, is going to pull some drones. Yes, indeed, some drones are being pulled just to snipe this one SCV. 2 SCVs into this location, so he might try to pull more drones. Yes, indeed, and there it is, a nice pull, and also a spine crawler being created by ELAZER, trying to, of course, to surround those units, trying to go for the SCV. And look at that, nice try to surround. Sadly for him, he's of course going to lose some drones, as there are already 3 Marines, even 4 Marines out. A really hard early game this time for ELAZER versus all of those Marines. Look at that, 7 drones, 8, even 9 being killed. The bunker is being salvaged, so ELAZER holds, but at what cost? He has lost 9 workers already against BYUN, and he's taking even more damage. So let's see, BYUN pumping out, of course, more Marines. There is a queen out, she is on creep, and another queen here. So I think ELAZER should be able to hold this, as queens are really tanky early on against those Marines. And yeah, that's, of course, they can heal themselves up as mana, as more and more mana is being added, and some Zerglings are also here to give some protection. So ELAZER in the end holding, but his economy has pretty much been damaged. However, he's able to recover. Look at that, he's at 18 workers now, and the queens are also nicely healing themselves up. So nice job by ELAZER, as of course creep also gives more HP regenerations for the Zerg. And yeah, let's have a look. BYUN actually deciding to retreat with 1 barracks. The other barracks is coming in. The ELAZER should be able to hold, so a nice hold by him. Interesting strategy with this one Overlord staying here. In the end, he is fine. He's at 21 workers, BYUN at 23. And yeah, he might lose a queen. He needs to be careful. But yeah, I think he's going to be fine, as BYUN is losing more and more Marines against ELAZER. Let's have a look. This is one Overlord here. Let's check the main from BYUN really quick. He has no expansion yet, so that's not so good for him, but he has a factory and a starport. Goes for a Viking, adds another barracks. Actually, it's this one barracks that is about to land, and still has a good vision here from the main from ELAZER. So yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing at a 10. We're at the 5-minute mark. Let's see what is going to happen, when exactly ELAZER is going to be taking his second expansion. What exactly his next moves are going to be, when exactly is he going for a tier 2 upgrade. And what is nice snipe here by ELAZER taking out his barracks. And yeah, finally BYUN also establishing his expansion and the Viking to be able to take out the Overlord. So really, really nice stuff. Still 1 barracks, 1 factory and 1 starport for BYUN as more and more Hellions are being added. And let's just see if he's going once again into Hellbats, or if he this time tries to do a run by. Perhaps he's going to try a drop with some medivacs, as he's now finally moving here out on the map, sniping this one Zergling. More and more is being added, the Viking also being added just in case there are some overlords, as he's now coming here forward, but the expansion is not ready yet, so ELAZER once again should be fine against this. And yeah, let's just see the next moves by the players. ELAZER looking really, really confident now. Yes, 37 workers versus the 32 from BYUN, as the Baneling's Nest is also being added, and of course Baneling's Nest always a good idea against the Terran, as so many Terrans really like to go into massive amounts of infantry. And yeah, currently BYUN looking like he's going to spread those Hellions, so he might try a double attack with 4 Hellions into one group and 4 Hellions into the other. Of course this is really, really hard to defend. Perhaps he's waiting for that hatchery to get finished. As no, it's actually 8 Hellions now, but ELAZER should know of this. So really, really nice move out here by BYUN. No Hellbats this time for him. Let's just see if this is going to work out much better. He has the higher ground, still taking quite some damage, but also sniping some Zerglings in the end. ELAZER nicely microing those drones, so the Hellions not really getting any good connections. In the end, only 3 have been sniped. As is indeed, we do have a Banshee in the air, and some Hellions still make it out alive, so nice damage being taken. 3 kills for now. The drones are pretty much low thanks to those Hellions, but BYUN is of course going for one probe after the other. ELAZER nicely healing them up, and in the end the Banshee falls with only 7 kills, so this could have been much more bigger for BYUN, but sadly for him it didn't work out. He has this one second Banshee out on the map, but yeah, ELAZER with a really nice defense against this, nicely holding his ground and also going for his tier 2, as he still stays on Ling Bane against ELAZER. Let's have a look. ELAZER with 5 barracks now, so he's going into mass infantry once again. He's upgrading level 1 weapons, level 2 armor, so nice job. Of course Stim is a must, as are those combat shields, so nice job here by BYUN with his upgrades at around the 7-minute mark. And yeah, things have settled down a little bit, as both players are pretty much now preparing their macro-oriented game with their upgrades, and I believe ELAZER is going to go even into more and more Zerglings with Banelings. We might see some roaches as the layer has finished, and yeah, BYUN still tries to snipe one queen egg after the other with those Hellions, still not deciding to do any drops. ELAZER looking really prepared for that. And yeah, the queens also look really tanky against those Hellions. Yeah, let's just see. There is another expansion for BYUN, as slowly but steadily we're closing indeed at the 10-minute mark. And yeah, 5 barracks for him with those upgrades. Still massing all of those units into this location. 2 medivacs only for him. I believe he needs of course much more. And let's just check. This could have been a good drop point. There is a spore here, so a little bit harder. The main could also have been a nice drop point for BYUN, but then again I think he knows exactly what he is doing, as some Zerglings do move out on the map. I believe ELAZER is targeting the second expansion point from BYUN. Let's have a look if is he going to be successful, as BYUN is pretty much massing all of those units, scouting the map really nicely, but BYUN does a nice defensive job here as well. So ELAZER pretty much has to retreat a little bit. At the same time, it's also adding some other units here, so he might morph some Banelings into this attack. And they are very close to the proximity from the Terran, so ELAZER needs to be careful. Those Hellions might get some good connections here. Let's have a look. He's trying to bust here too, of course, against this wall, and even some Banelings getting out of some connections out of those Hellions, as 3 Banelings do roll in and take out. Luckily here for BYUN, only 3 SCVs, and yeah, more damage could of course been taken out of those SCVs, but the medivacs are here to repair. ELAZER knows this, he knows he has to act really fast, as he might try once again to snipe some of those units. Yeah, let's have a look. Some Zerg streaming to this location. As a look at the minimap, ELAZER once again on the defense, perhaps preparing his economy here. He has 66 workers, interesting enough. BYUN at 71 already, so BYUN with a little bit of a better economy against ELAZER. ELAZER still staying into Link Bane. No new units, and hold on, we actually have a drop here into a nice spot, but ELAZER really quick with his response against this small task force for BYUN. So BYUN also being left at bay, and some banings also not getting any connections here, so those players try of course to hurt each other, but in the end they nicely hold, they nicely defend. Both players pretty much at the same work account. Supply a little bit higher for BYUN now, interesting, as he's feeling more confident to move out, and this time he's actually adding some mines, some widow mines. No tanks for him, of course. Widow mines also really strong with that splash damage. Let's see how this will work out as his small task force is moving forward, but ELAZER really quick on the surround here with his units. Those beings also getting some good connections, as BYUN has to pick up and retreat a little bit. Nice job here by ELAZER defending, and BYUN of course licking his wounds now, just healing himself up. Let's see, what is he going to be adding? Really massive amounts of mines, of widow mines. Those widow mines with that splash damage looking really strong. No tanks for him. Let's check his main, as more and more marauders are now being pumped out. Interesting enough, giving more tankiness towards the Terran army. And let's see where this does lead us, as now we have marines with marauders indeed, and with medivacs of course. The widow mines will spread all over the map. ELAZER comes here forward with a small group of Zerglings just to see exactly where the widow mines are. Yeah, there are some great connections could be taken here, but there are some overseers. Really great sniping out of those widow mines. Nice amounts of splash damage by BYUN, so it looks like widow mines are the answer indeed against ELAZER. And interesting enough, also some marauders with concussive shells. Let's see how this will work out, as slowly but steadily we're closing at the 15-minute mark. Yeah, let's have a look. A nice scan as some creep X will fall. The Bane is not really getting any connection. The micro is really strong by BYUN as he's pushing forward. So let's have a look. Another scan goes out. Really nice job by BYUN, as slowly but steadily he's marching forward. He has more supply. He has actually really an overwhelming more higher number of army against ELAZER. So ELAZER in some serious trouble, as the widow mines once again are placing themselves in position. And yeah, BYUN looking like he's going to for this one expansion. The Baneys are rolling in, but the spread is really nice by BYUN, as those medivacs are also healing really nicely the infantry from the Terran. And the ELAZER perhaps has to try to find a better position. The widow mines now have been pretty much depleted, as in comes ELAZER with a nice surround. The Baneys are also rolling in, but yeah, that micro out of BYUN is really outstanding, as those infantry, it's really hard to execute. I believe he just clicked like this many times just in a couple of seconds, so really hard to execute of course. But then BYUN, he is known for his high level of micro, as he's now punching here forward against ELAZER. Nice job here. He's steaming forward, he's kiting forward, and yes indeed BYUN is going to take game number 2. And yes, sadly I will have to look now for game number 3 and 4 for the series. So currently it's just these 2 games. I hope that's okay with you. I'll be searching for the next games. We'll be seeing of course in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.